Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are the first group to present the movie review from MAC 2206C, and for our group we decided to choose the movie called Nobody. Before we start with our presentation, I would like to introduce our group members according to the sequence of the presentators. The first presentators is me myself, Nur Fatin Damia binti Abdul Latif, followed with Suhana binti Muhammad Idham, Nur Najatul Najihah binti Baharuddin, Nurul Amani binti Abdul Hafiz, and lastly Naili Sati binti Muhammad Saad. Since this is a movie review, of course we will start our presentation with a synopsis, and hope you enjoy the show.
So they took maybe $20 and an old watch? Mr. Matz, did you even take a swing?
No.
Could have taken her, Dad.
Had some excitement last night. I wish they'd have picked my place, you know? Damage to a minimum. There's a long dormant piece of me that so very badly wants out.
What are you still doing here, old man?
I'm gonna fuck you up. Very dangerous people. Everybody get to the basement.
What is happening?
Don't call 911. I used to be what they call an auditor. The last guy anyone wants to see at their door. Because it meant you didn't have to.
When you left, you abandoned a certain debt that needs repayment. And your creditor is aware of your resurrection.
They came after my family.
They stole my kitty cat bracelet.
And you don't do that.
Who the are you?
Me? I'm nobody.
Main hero Haj Mansell, portrayed by Bob Odenkirk. Haj Mansell may appear to be an ordinary guy. He has two children, Blake and Abby, with his wife Becca, which put him into a position where unremarkable office job in his father-in-law at the metal fabrication company. His marriage is strained and his daily life seems pretty bland and tedious, which makes him become an empath, underestimated, overlooked dad and husband. Haj Mansell was an auditor for federal government agencies who would hunt down and execute treasonous individuals, simply said, a former government assassin for the CIA, until an experience with one target inspired him to retire as an ordinary family man. After facing an incident of a break into his house, which he refused to resist, it indirectly leads him to a vicious brawl on a bus which triggered a Russian mobster, which I will explain further later, forcing him to reawaken his killer instinct and fight back. Next is Yulian Kuznetsov, which is the main antagonist for this film, who aims to kill Haj Mansell. He was portrayed by Alexei Serebryakov. Starting with his personality, Yulian is unhinged, being prone to hands of violence, which he rarely faces consequences thanks to his influential power. He also has a curiosity for taking drugs, which leads him to enhance his ire and greed. With the power of skills marksmanship, he also has a huge criminal influence, since he highly likely to influence others to join and be part of his team. And not to forget, he is a Russian mobster, which is what we usually call a mafia. His hobby is to monitor illegal offshore money with the goals of to get revenge on Haj Mansell for maiming and attacking his brother and embrace his crime reputation.
Next, we move on to ethical dilemma of the actor, which is Haj Mansell.
So the first one is whether he wants to protect a young woman from sexual harassment or to release his frustration, where he helps a young woman and beats a group of a guy. The second one is whether the hero, Hutch, wants to be honest with their family about his dark secret. The third ethical dilemma is whether Hutch wants to return the burglars or save their sick baby. When he went into the apartment, he discovered that this couple have a sick baby to support and he just left the house. Now, let's watch a cutscene of this movie.
I speak. Please sleep. Please sleep.
Next is ethical dilemma of the actor villain, which is Yulian Kuznetsov. The first one is whether he wants to go after Hutch, the hero who destroyed the object, or to take what he has left and run. The second one is whether he wants to satisfy himself by attacking the innocent, where Yulian sent his Russian gang to kill Hutch's father, but they fail. Now, let's take a look at the video clip.
Consequentialists are an ethical theory that judges whether something is right by what its consequences are, which their action is considered wrong or right based on outcome. In this movie, the villain is Yulian Kuznetsov. Let's watch a cutscene for this theory.
Yulian, please don't get more mad. You hated Teddy.
Your words may be correct, but they are no less unwise. Что поделаешь? Одних не уберешь.
As you can see in the scene, Yulian is called to the hospital where he finds Teddy, his younger brother. The doctor tells him that he has suffered permanent brain damage. He violently interrogates Teddy's friends about what happened to him and who is responsible for it. Then one of his friends says that you hate Teddy, and Yulian responds with you don't choose your family.
I'm out, no need to pay. Good luck.
Твою мать.
In the second scene, Yulian decided to find Hutch and ask his assistant to find out about him. She blackmails her FBI informant until he goes deep into the archives and discovers highly confidential information about Hutch. When the assistant discovered that Hutch was once a brutal assassin, she resigns and leaves Yulian to his own device. He then instructs everyone in his command to go pursue Hutch and bring him alive. From a consequentialist point of view, the actions taken by Yulian is wrong and unethical because he takes a revenge for his self-interest according to ethical egoism. Ethical egoism is a part of consequentialist theory that holds the consequences for the individual are more important than any other outcome.
So I will continue the presentation by presenting the deontology point of view from the action taken by the hero Mr. Hutch Mansell. So according to Kant's deontology, the action taken and their outcomes are independent things. So basically, there are things we have to do even though we know that's wrong. This is because deontology is based on the sense of duty to others. In this movie, Mr. Hutch made a decision to help the stranger girl from being a sexual assault victim in the bus he rides. Here, the scene.
Life that keeps me alive. What do we have here? I've gotta be me. Can't be right.
This girl's gonna get home safe tonight.
Right for me.
I hope these hospital food.
Got it.
So as you can see, Mr. Hutch determined to help the poor girl and make sure he gets her home safely that night. As his goal to help the girl from being a sexual assault victim, he ignores the consequence for his action. To relate with deontology, his action is not good morally, but it can lead to something good, which is fighting with the man is wrong, but to help the poor girl is the right thing to do. Okay, next, the action that I would like to highlight is when Mr. Hutch and his family is having a dinner, there was an attack from the villain side. The scene will be played.
Because you know, rum is where mom and dad met. You know, mom and dad fell in love.
Everybody get to the basement.
What?
Right now. Let's go. Move.
What is
Move.
Dad, what
Right
what's
now.
happening? Hutch,
Move.
you're scaring Hutch. What is happening?
So as we can see, the hero, Mr. Hutch, asks his family to stay in the house basement in order to protect them from any harm and bad injuries caused by the intruders. Again, he risked his own life to save his loved ones. He even put himself in the dangerous situation when he tried to defend himself from the villain team. It depicts clearly the theory in deontology where actions and outcomes are measured separately. And according to deontology, we need to focus on the action. For example, Mr. Hutch, who protects his family and not likely death, it will mean for the intruders. This because it is his duty to protect his family and not his problem on what happened to the intruders. So, to conclude with deontology, the consequences are irrelevant and the only thing that matters is the intention of the decision maker.
Now, let's proceed with the next content with me, Nelly Izati. Principle of Golden Rule. We are all aware of the meaning behind this rule, which is to treat others the way you would like to be treated. And it is very simple to understand Golden Rule. These following questions will help us to understand it even more. First one is, do you like it when people are mean to you? Or maybe, how would you feel when people do unacceptable things to your family? And have you ever wondered how your own actions affect others and how would you feel if others did the same thing to you? Based on the movie entitled Nobody, if I have to put myself in the villain's shoes, which in this story a Russian crime lord named Yulian, these are the possible ethical actions that I would have taken based on the Golden Rule. So from the synopsis before, it was mentioned that Hutch attacked Yulian's brother named Teddy in the bus. As the information about Hutch is available, instead of ruthlessly send people to attack his house and family, I would ask Hutch to confront face to face with me and ask him to explain what had happened that night and the reason he beat Teddy and the gang. Because Yulian himself hated when his brother was attacked out of blue, so rather than do something that he hates by attacking Hutch's family, face-to-face confrontation will help Yulian to get a clearer picture of the incident. The other ethical actions that I would have taken if I am in the villain's shoes is to actually thank Hutch for trying to save Teddy's life. Hutch had performed tracheostomy on Teddy to help him keep breathing, and this can only be done if Yulian confront with Hutch at the first place. Next part, I would be embarrassed if I knew the reason why Hutch attacked Teddy in the bus. It was Teddy and his other Russian friends who initiated the fight by giving off rape vibes to the woman in the bus. In addition, I would also feel guilty for endangering Hutch's innocent family who have nothing to do with the incident. There are two main lessons that we learn from the movie. The first one is little things change life. Our actions are caused by the small actions of others. We tend to react rather than respond. And because of we react to the small things, we end up getting controlled by this stuff. From the movie, the small act of Abby looking for her cat's bracelet had triggered Hutch's old self, and he began to track down the people who probably had stolen the bracelet. And the next lesson is trust and respect our family. This element is very important in any relationship as it may provide us with the sense of being cautious and safety. Based on the movie, Hutch trusts his half-brother Harry to seek information about Yulian from the barber,
and it ends up provide Hutch a sense of cautious and safety. Next, which is the scene at the factory. Harry and their father David shows up, putting their life on the line to help Hutch fight the Russian mob gang. That's it from us. Thank you.